Okay. It won't let me stream in the other position. So I'm in this one for now, trying to figure out where the best place is to look. And I've got to say, I don't love it. Let me just get some more things as well to get some more height. Okay, well, that's not too bad, but how can I get it to be? Okay, definitely going to. Okay, definitely going to be doing this on the computer next time because I don't love that. Okay. All right, if anyone's here, first attempt at a YouTube live, so forgive everything up until I start sort of talking. If anyone's here, please comment and let me know. Oh, hey, okay, good. Can you hear me okay? And I'm sorry about the weird, it won't let me do it on my iPad like in that, like standing up. So I have to do it this way. And then when you do it that way, you look like you're looking to the side. But let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if can hear. Okay, good. All right. I'm thinking of just getting sort of one more book to just bring it up a little, or even just bring it up a little bit. Okay. Welcome though. Here we are. At least we're live. We're here. We're doing it, and it will get better from here on in. Next week. Actually, next week, I'll talk to you about next week. But next time, I will do it on my computer. All right. Bear with me. I've got some good stuff this morning, so hopefully that'll make up for all of this madness. Okay. Still a bit weird and not sitting very well. How is everyone? Let me know. Welcome. How are you? There were 4 in the house, now there's 3. There's one person who's joined and gone, oh my God, who is this mad person? Who can't even figure out how to, hey Joel. Hey Joel. Okay, so I'm so glad to be on YouTube. Why am I on YouTube? I'm on YouTube because, okay, we're just gonna have to do it like that. I'm sorry. I'm on YouTube because basically the reach on Instagram is just ridiculously low. There's people saying to me, I can't see your stuff at all anymore. So what's the point? So let's be here. And also, you're doing good today. Great. And also the thing is, I'm sorry it looks like I am actually looking directly ahead, but I know it's all warped. Next time I'm going to do it on the computer. I'm hoping that's going to be better. So let's be here where if you click to get notified, you actually will know that there is a video or that I'm live, and you can choose which channels that you follow and you will get their stuff. So it's less of a having to like sort through stuff to find it. All right, folks. So this is what came to me this morning to talk about today. It's a very visual, like it just came as kind of a vision. So picture this. Imagine that we're sort of sitting in kind of like a meditative pose, and above us is just all of this swirling potential, all of this stuff swirling, and it's all potential. And what happens is when someone says something to us, when we hear something, it lights up one of the potentials. Okay, so here's what I mean. We're each sitting there with our own infinite potential swirling above our heads. When someone activates speech, when someone activates a particular energy with an intention of focus or speech, or we see something, it activates one of those potentials and then brings it into our attention, which then makes it a which we then can turn it into a reality. This is why, because at the moment there are infinite timelines available. And as I said, I'm sorry that it looks like I'm completely looking off to the side because I'm looking straight ahead. And I don't know how to make it look like I'm looking at you. So I'm sorry about the whole side-eye thing. There are infinite timelines and infinite potential. None of us know what is going to happen, really, in all genuineness. None of us know what is going to happen because it hasn't even been written. And you don't know what's going to happen for you. But when something gets highlighted above us, that becomes our vision. Okay, so does that make sense? And I don't know how to see all messages are visible. Okay, beautiful. Does it make sense that you have this infinite potential swirling? We're sitting there like this. And then something will bring something into our field, whether it's something someone has said, whether it's a video we're watching, a conversation, whether it's mainstream media. And that activates one of the potentials to be highlighted. That then highlights it to us. We then have the opportunity to say, okay, I'm taking that on as my reality. I'm going to step into it. I'm going to put it on like a coat and I'm going to live it. And when enough of us do that, when enough of us have the same potential highlighted, then we live it out as a collective reality. This is why, now it's interesting that came to me this morning, because last night I watched a video on Instagram, which was great. It was really good. I actually shared both parts. It was Be Free with Dee, and both parts I shared in my stories. I loved it because there was lots of practical information, and we for sure need practical information at this time. What I loved about it this morning, that whole thing coming to me, was the fact that, yes, there are... So in the interview yesterday, there was people saying, look, that's a done deal, that's done. Now the thing, is it though? And that's the bifurcation. So this morning I saw Oracle Girl speaking about splitting off into 4, about there being 4. And I've thought about this before. What is the 4? The 4 is being, now she didn't say it, this is my take on it might be completely false, but for me, the 4 realities that you can choose at this time: being unaware but free. Now that might sound really strange. How can I be unaware and free? Well, because you can be in bliss, you can be blissfully unaware, but actually feel free in that because you want to be told what to do. You want the structure, you want to be told, right? They're the people who get on the news and go, what am I allowed to do today? What are the mandates? What am I allowed to do? What am I not allowed to do? Okay, great, beautiful. Then you can be unaware but feel enslaved. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not in my power. Then you can be aware but feel enslaved. I know what's going on, but I don't know how to stop it. I know what's going on, but I don't know how to not live it. And then you can be aware and free. I know what's going on and I do not feed it. And that is, so can anything ever be a done deal? Can anything ever be a done deal? The reason why the media bombard us with constant messaging, the same thing, the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. Even when they say tell lie vision, I think it's tell a vision. Hey Jen, tell a vision. They're telling us a vision. So remember, we're sitting there. This is actually what is happening. We are somewhere like this, and infinite possibilities are swirling around our head. They're just swirling. Someone tells a vision that they want to happen, that they want to occur, and that then gets highlighted. And some of us, almost in like a hypnotic state, go, okay, I'm going to follow that one. And we put it on literally like a coat and we live it. And when enough of us do that, that's called a timeline. The reason why some timelines are higher and some are lower, and they'll say, well, we don't yet know which timeline. So people certainly can tune into this and can get some sense. Even people that do that will say to you, I don't know which timeline is going to play out. And then you'll have noticed sometimes the languaging changes and they'll say all the lower timelines are now closed. What do they mean by that? They mean that for those of us still playing along at the moment, all the lower timelines are closed in that we are now of such a vibration that the potentialities are higher. We are now in a space where we have lifted ourselves to with our own energy, where the lower ones won't play out because not enough of us are following that vision. Does that make sense? And I don't know why these comments keep going away. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Tell me about, oh, you're feeling stuffed, Fee. But new week, yeah. New week, we're here on a Monday morning. The reason I do these on a Monday morning, and the next one will be better. I will actually be looking at you. I'm going to do it on my computer, hopefully set up camera and stuff, and it'll be better. The reason I do these on a Monday morning, A, we want to set the tone for our week. B, check in how you're doing, set the intentions for the week. Get clear, what are we doing individually and as a collective for the week, right? So that's why we're here on a Monday morning. Okay, any questions about what I've said? That's what I wanted to share this morning. So, can you see how vital and how important, how many of these too? Can you see how vital and how important it is that you are aware, A, of this process, but then B, that you're aware that what gets spoken to you, don't give it more power than it has. Don't start running away, la, 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 la. Don't talk it into being, don't talk it into being. You know that whole toxic love and light stuff where, no, we're not allowed to talk about anything because you're creating it. Oh my God, you're creating it, you're creating it. No one's creating anything against your will in your life when you're aware of this process. They might highlight an option, but if you don't go with it, if you don't put it on and embody it, and wear it and walk in it and live it, then it does not become your reality. Okay, I'm having a look at some cards to help with this. So this is the Starseed Oracle deck again, which is Rebecca Campbell. The first one, and let me know if you can see this right way around or if it's flipped like it is on Instagram. All paths lead home. All paths lead home. This is another one that came up. This is one that came up the other time as well, I'm pretty sure. Inner authority, intuition, turn gaze within, right? Inner authority, intuition, turn gaze within, all paths lead home. So, everyone makes it home. The question is how, and the question is when in this illusion of time. There is no time, everybody is already home. In your experience though, as you navigate, inner authority, intuition, and turn your gaze within. Key. And the Seas of Mintaka, pretty sure this one came up too. If you have any information on the Seas of Mintaka, let me know. Put it in the chat. Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to life. Okay. Here's the second part of what I want to talk to you about today. So, first important thing to know is it's all just swirling potential. When we watch the media, and the reason why they'll say the same thing over and over again, predictive programming is a movie, a news story, anything like that, that will highlight. It will literally light it up for you. And you think, oh, that's the truth. That's what's happening. And so you start living it. That's predictive programming. They tell us a vision. that they want to bring into creation, and then it is up to us whether we're going to do it. So here's why we will choose a narrative that is ugly and awful. We will create our nightmare rather than not know what's going on. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Our ego would rather create a nightmare than not know what is going on. Because our ego can't deal with the unknown, and at the moment everything is unknown. No one really knows what is going on. It is an unknown in the sense that we're literally writing it in real time. We have this potential to reach all these higher timelines, all these potentialities that we weren't aware of before, seeing potential that we weren't aware of before. We want to create that, we want to live that, but on the way, ego, and I've spoken about this like when we jump out and the chute is not yet open. Ego goes, I cannot cope not knowing what's coming. So I would rather believe that it's going to be hell on earth. I would rather believe that we're all going to be even further enslaved, that we're all going to be imprisoned, that we're not going to have all of that. I'd rather believe that, because I'm hearing it and people are saying that could happen. I'd rather hold on to worst case scenario and prepare you for that than not know what is coming. And because there's so much unknown right now, be mindful of what you hold on to. Going, yes, I would rather hold on to that, because that I can imagine. And we can all imagine hell on earth more than we can imagine heaven on earth. Why? Because we have been programmed to see it all of our lives. You are programmed with hell on earth every time you turn on your TV, or the war zones, all of it. You will look at it and you will assume it's true, because you can assume that more than you could assume, more than you could hold on to the reality that someone is actually creating that, hoping that you actually bring it to fruition for them, and that it is not yet at the extent that you think it is, or that it holds an intention to do something different. You know, the whole, the rattle, bring your attention over here, don't look over there, look over here, don't look over there, look over here, that this 3D world does. So ego would rather create hell on earth just to keep you in a state of like, okay, well, I know what to expect with that. I've seen all of the Armageddon movies. I've seen all of the Contagion movies. I've seen all of it. I can create hell on earth. Ego can create hell on earth far more easily and prepare you for it and go, okay, we can do this. We can do food shortages. We can do water shortages. We can do zombie apocalypse. We can do all of that. We can do alien invasion. We can do world war. We can do all of that more than we can do heaven on earth, because that I don't have a template for. Okay, this is really massive. Your ego, and I have to write this down because I'm going to forget it, and I didn't know it until now. Your ego does not have a template for heaven on earth, and so it will create hell on earth. Just to keep comfortable. Just to not have to live in the unknown. Okay, let me know how that is resonating with you. To not have to live in the unknown. Scare people with the virus or the jab, both still fear. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Fear is a powerful manipulating source, and it is a drug. It is a drug to ego. Fear and conflict are a drug to ego. The reason you have been fed them as a steady diet since arriving here is so that your ego is constantly activated and it becomes the most powerful part of your mind. That way, your intuition, your wiser self, your higher self, and spirit, God, connection with universal wisdom does not get a look in, because ego is booming in there. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I'm just going to repeat that. Our ego does not have a template for heaven on earth. It doesn't have it. It can't hold it. It is too high a timeline for it to hold. Ego does not live at that level of vibration. Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Okay, ego does not live at that potential. And so it would rather create hell on earth. And they know they can do that through your ego. Your ego is the portal for them to manipulate you. Your ego would rather go, I can imagine food shortages. I can imagine war. I can imagine all of this. I can imagine us in camps. One of the questions I always have about Hitler and the whole World War II thing, and I'm not someone who actually doesn't believe that that actually happened, but what I wonder about is, why do you keep reminding us like literally like 3 to 4 times a week? For the last however many years, go and have a look. If you don't watch TV or whatever, just go and put in like what's on TV at the moment. Go and have a look at the guide. There are between 3 to 4 Hitler like docos a week. Hitler's henchmen, the unknown facts about Hitler, the last days of Hitler, the last days of the Nazis, the last days of World War II, camps, constant bombardment. Why? 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 When there are so many others that you could highlight, when there are so many other times in history that you could be talking about, why do you always only talk about that one? I feel like that's a Western world thing, and in the East they're probably showing others. That is a Western world trigger. That triggers the fuck out of us. It triggers us because, can you swear on YouTube? Like, do they flag you? It triggers us, and therefore that fear thing. Oh my God, this is us. We are now the ones who are going to end up in camps. We are now the ones, we are now the Jews, we are now the outcasts, all of that. And we create the vision. We walk ourselves to the camps in a manner, because we can imagine hell on earth more so than we can imagine heaven on earth. Your ego will not hold that template. You must move yourself to your wiser, higher, intuitive mind in order to be able to vision heaven on earth. And then when enough, and you will create that for yourself. You will create that for yourself. And when enough of us create it, when enough of us can vision it, we will create it as a collective. Oh. Is this making sense? Is this resonating? Yes. Yes. I kind of love that no one can really tell the future anymore. Why do you keep going away? Why do you go away? I'll have to look this up. I'm sorry. Some messages such as potential spam may not be. Live chat. Can you all see each other's chats? Do they stay up or are they going away? I kind of love that no one can really tell the future anymore. It's exciting and shows how it's your choice. Exactly. We can't predict beyond this time because we're at the precipice. We're at the edge of time. We're at the end of time. Now for ego, end of time, end days, all of that religious connotation, end time, end of days, the second coming, the reckoning, all of that will spark fear. But end times for your wiser self, for your higher self, is an extraordinary level of excitement. It's mastery, because now you're no longer sitting here with all of this swirling around you and, oh, they stay up. Thanks, Aurora. And I don't know why they're going away from me. I'll figure it out before next time. So you're sitting here with all of this potential swirling around, and rather than just going, okay, everything is potentiality, it's infinite in its potentiality, and I'm just floating around and swimming around in potentiality. And others highlight things for me and I just blindly follow along, whichever one is the brightest. the edge of the precipice, the precipice that we're on, the edge of time, the end of time means this is the time of mastery, where this is no longer a passive thing that kind of like we just kind of blindly follow along. This is now an active level of mastery where you determine which timeline do I follow. That might freak you out because you go, what if I commit to one and then it's not right? What if I move and then it's not right? What if I leave my job and then it's not right? What if? It's never about, the timeline can be shifted at any time. You can literally take one step into a timeline and go, nah, and move on. So it's step by step, it's evaluating step by step, evaluate it as you go along. Okay, let me pick a card and let me know any comments, any questions about what I've said, and how are you? How is that making you feel? Karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. Karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. I mean, love that. That is just confirming, when I test, I was like, that is just confirming what you just said. End times, end of karmic relationships. Okay, so this is what happens with karmic relationships. Oh, okay. We had to see it through before we could clear the slate. Okay. We had to see it through before we could clear the slate. So, you're sitting there, potentiality, all the potentiality swirling around. Karmic relationships are paths that are already highlighted. And we had to see them through, and this is what this time is now. End times, precipice, end of karmic relationships. So each one that we each had, this is the opportunity at this time. See it through. Get rid of the highlights that you kind of came in with, like the highlights because of karmic relationships. Does that make sense? Almost like a woven pattern already there, and you stepped into that and you went, there's a pattern here, okay, which is so much about what I talk about in my book, about how to clear the patterns, the subconscious patterns that just repeat and repeat and repeat. But that's a karmic thing where you almost step into like a web of stuff that's already highlighted, and you step into that and you live that. This now is the end of those karmic relationships where you clear the slate, and then you're no longer just at the mercy of this stuff. You're actually living in a state of mastery where you would know a trigger, you would know somebody else lit that path, you light your own path. Light your own path. Love that. Aurora, I saw you just wrote something. I'm going to read it, but it's gone away. Might need to read it about 18 times. Yes, I think also if we think everything in the highest good and just manifest the feeling we want instead of something particular, we will reach where we need to go. Yes. Instead of something particular, yes. That is a whole section in here too, allowing and not manifesting. Well, we've moved beyond it. We can manifest. There's nothing wrong with the word, but the way we've been taught it is a dumbed down version, which appeals to our ego very much about. Okay, another card on that. Any questions? Any comments? Any thoughts? How is this landing with you? How is this resonating with you? This one? This is for someone. Start the readings. Okay. This is for everybody, and start the readings. Okay, I'm going to do 5. So just the first 5 people. There are 7 in the house that's telling me. If there are 5 of you that would like a card, put it in the chat box. The first 5. you don't have to tell me what you want the reading on. You can just put it in. And yes, please, Fiona. Jen, is that a yes from you? You can just put it in. Yep. Yes, please. And okay, tell me what it's on if you want a little. Okay, so Jen and Fiona, tell me what it's on if you want a little bit of context. Just give me like one word. Jay, Joel. Okay, beautiful. Let me know what it's on. Okay, two more. If you want a bit of context. Balance for Jen. Okay. Aurora, beautiful. Aurora. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. If someone's in the house and would like one, let me know. And Fee, Spirit. Rita. Okay, beautiful. There's the 5. Joel, Aurora, and Rita, let me know what you would particularly like it on. If you want like context so that I can help you put in context. Okay, and this is for everybody. So this is, I'm sorry. This is us to each other. This is us for not remembering who we each are to each other. A lot of emotion with that card. Defenselessness, riding past wrongs, and uprooting. Oh, there's a lot of grief. This, I can't even say it. This is us to each other as we wake up to who we are and to what we've been doing to each other in that unaware space. So a lot of forgiveness needed. I'm sorry, defenselessness, riding past, like this is literally doing that to each other. Whew. Wow. I mean, this is just, whew. Yeah, I feel that card is just, I mean, this grief is not mine, although I'm part of it for sure, but this is like everybody's just like getting to a point, and it doesn't feel like it's that far off, where we kind of like, you know, when you've had like, say you've had like a toxic parent who only once you move out, you realize how much they turned everybody against each other. That is what's happening with all of us. And the realization and the recognition of that is going to break our hearts for a while, but it'll break our hearts open. I mean, look at that. And of course, the fact that we are the earth. Defenselessness, riding past wrongs, and uprooting. Whew. Okay. Let me just clear that. I mean, also, like, it's tears and grief in the most beautiful way. Oh, Patricia, I've got 5, but definitely next time, pop up first, and more than happy to do that for you. Calendula, that's just for me. Okay. Whew. Okay, so I'm doing Jen, Fee, Joel, Aurora, and Rita. And anyone else that's here, you're more than welcome next time. But I'll keep it to 5. Okay, Jen, Spirit. This deck? No, that one. Okay. And please, while I'm doing this, put in any questions that you have about what I have said today, about what's coming to you, about your own recognitions, your own understandings. Jen, balance. 1 card. A lot of nerves about what's going to come out, Jen. Grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. Grace and gratitude, through gratitude, joy expands. Feels like a big relief, because it felt like it might have been like you were worried about having to act on something. Path, journey. You might have had to act on something and you weren't sure. Okay, does that make sense, Jen? It's almost a bit of a fear about what card was going to come up, because it was like, oh, well, I have to act on something and I'm not sure. So balance, you'll find balance with grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. So that's how you're going to navigate balance. Just pop in, Jen, and just let me know about that feeling of having to make a decision. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay, let me know whether that resonates. This is definitely the card. This is definitely the card. So whatever questioning is occurring, grace and gratitude will help you find the middle ground and will help you find the balance. Through gratitude, joy expands. And joy, so the path will expand. Okay, Jen. Fee. Which one for Fee? This one. This whole move, it resonates for sure. Beautiful. Okay, I'm glad, Jen. Great, glad. Okay, 2 for Fee. Spirit. Fee. 2 of these. Clear the decks. Clear the decks, Fee. Okay, I'm clearing the decks, but I'm getting like clear the decks, and it's for you too. Clear the decks, Fee. Okay, Spirit. 2 of these. 1. Definitely not enough trust here to walk the path. Okay. We have, so this is for Fee, Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. Move beyond ancestral patterns. And Protection Guardian, drop your shields. So clear the decks, Fee, came up really very specifically for you as well. Not enough trust in self. And then clear, move beyond ancestral patterns. And drop your shields. Okay, Fee, that is for you, my love. I'm not flogging the book. I know Fee's got it, right? Chapter 5. Okay. Fee, I hope that's helpful. Joel, Aurora says, what do I know? What for today? Joel. Okay, Joel. Path journey. Alrighty. Beautiful Joel. 2 of these. It's very interesting too. You actually all have quite a different energy on here to what you have on Instagram. Oh, good, Fee. Isn't that interesting? It's a different energy here to each one of you than on Instagram. Okay, Joel. 2 cards, path and journey. Keep going. I feel like that's being said to me with the shuffling, but I also feel like that's being said to you. Keep going. Okay, 1. 2. Keep going. And boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? This feels like it's also for you. Are you stuck on chapter 5? Hang on. I'll get to that in a sec. Okay, Joel. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? This is also in regards to yourself and your own boundaries with what you allow to come in, right? This is not really about other people's behavior towards you. This is about you staying on course. And you don't have to know what the course is right now. You'll feel your way. You'll feel that with what's lit up. Remember what I said before, you take a step in, you don't like it, you just take a step in a different timeline. It's literally timeline jumping, you can do it now. Literally like if you were crossing a stream or crossing a river and there was like stepping stones, that's literally how easily you can move timelines. If you step into one, go, nah, don't like it, step onto the next one. It's like literally we're going to get to that level of mastery. So the initiation. Well, that's exciting, Joel. Rite of passage, you're going somewhere sacred. Rite of passage, you're going somewhere sacred. How exciting. Okay, Joel. All right, to everyone who's just come on, I've already picked the 5 people, but very happy to, next time I'll do this each time. I mightn't do 5 each time, but I will do it each time, so you'll get a chance for sure. Okay, Aurora. So it was just the first 5 that put their hand up. Aurora, what for today? Okay, what for today? This resonates. I know what boundaries you're talking about. Beautiful. Great, Joel. Okay, Aurora. What does Aurora need? What would you have her know today? What would you have her know? 1 card from here. Okay, what would you have her know? So much. All the things, but you don't need to know all the things. Okay? Like about 25 cards wanted to come out. You don't need to know all the things. Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. Make plans and focus. What you were saying before. Know the feeling, create from that. Make plans and focus. Make plans and focus. Okay, so this is how I'm imagining, this is what's coming for you, Aurora. It's so, when I just said before, if we were crossing a stream and there was stepping stones and you step on one and you step on the other and you make your way across the stream because that's where you'd like to go. You've already decided that's where you want to go. But if you take like one step and then you go, oh, how's this water flowing? Is that water flowing? Should I go in this direction? It's like too easy to be pulled. It's okay to be in joy and in present and in the moment. It's like saying you don't really need to look that much past the actual stepping stone that you're on. Keep the vision high and forward. Keep the vision high and forward. Stay centered, stay grounded, stay balanced. Stay like knowing you're attached to the ground and keep the vision high and forward. Okay, that's for you, Aurora. And Rita is the last one for today. Rita, and I saw somebody saying about the energy on here from this end, from my perspective, in terms of how I feel you, it's much lighter. It's much stronger. Good, I'm glad. It's stronger. It's like easier to feel your energies and feel your heart than it is on Instagram. Instagram is also a beautiful connection and I really like it. And I like doing lives on there. I'm not here because I don't like doing lives on there. I'm here because I'm so shadow banned that, of nearly 2,000 followers, about like the live would go to about 40 accounts. I'm on here so that if you've got the notification on, you'll just be notified. And also because a lot of people are not wanting to hang out as much on social media. So it's kind of like you don't have to do a million scrolls. You can just come here. You can just hang out a little bit more where you want to hang out. And if this is your first time here, like the whole camera, I'll sort it for next time. So yes, so from my end, it feels a lot lighter. You all feel lighter than you do on Instagram. And that's interesting because I always say Instagram compared to Facebook is like a warm summer's breeze. So it is interesting that on this platform, I can kind of feel you more, like just more open, less sort of, and maybe because you've just come here just for this, you haven't come from the mad scroll. I don't know. Rita, is there a specific thing? Oh, hey, Haruka, so lovely to have you here. And welcome everyone, lovely to have you. Rita, was there a specific thing that you wanted or just anything? Hi Amy, I'm glad you made it. Hi Spina, could you please pull a card for me regarding what's coming up for me in March? So I've picked the 5, Amy, but we'll be here again next Monday. Rita, my heart is open. Different how, lighter, yeah, lighter. Okay, Rita, I'm going to give you a minute just to put in if there was something specific or if it was, oh, my heart is open. So to receive anything, my heart is open. Okay, 2 of these. Okay, this is the Matt Kahn deck. Whew, still feeling that card from before. Lordy. Let's end maybe with like a visioning on that. Okay, Rita. 2 cards. If my heart is open, what can I draw in? Drawing consciously. So Rita, not drawing out, drawing in is needed at this time. So these are for you. These 2. This one and this one. These are for you. At this point, focus maybe a little less on giving out and focus a little more on receiving in. This one first. Amplifying abundance. Abundance is my birthright and I receive it now. Amplifying abundance. Abundance is my birthright and I receive it now. Just going to do an oil with that for you just to help infuse it in. Okay. Cinnamon leaf. How beautiful. Oh, I'm a massive lover of cinnamon. I don't know about you. Cinnamon leaf. What does that help us with? Okay, if I know my alphabet, that would also help. Warmth. Okay, infusing some warmth into that for you. And illuminating the truth. I am willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. Illuminating the truth. I am willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. So these are for you, Rita. Infuse them in. Receiving these cards and also the symbol on the cards. Just allow that to enter into your heart. Okay, that's for you, Rita. Any questions? Any comments? Anything you'd like me to speak on in the last last 5 minutes? A card for all of us. Okay, a card for all of us for this time. Moving forward, there's so much going on. There's so much going on. How do we move out of the sludge is kind of like a question that feels a bit pertinent to everybody. 1, how do we move out of the sludge? Pleasure, Jen. Lovely to see you. I hope the horses are on their way, Jen. Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. Be open to healing information. Okay, that card goes with this card, which is extraordinarily powerful. If you've only just joined now, like, look back over. Yes. In fact, Haruka, I'm going to talk about the inner child. It's kind of pertinent, they're saying, with this too. With this, I'm sorry, defense of past rights and uprooting. Okay, let me talk about the inner child, how I see it. It's not necessarily a message from on high. Inner child does not resonate with me. It never has. Beautiful, beautiful reader. I love that you love cinnamon too. Inner child does not resonate with me. It never has. And here's why. We are giants. We are giants. We are masters. We are spirit in human form. And we are stuck in a karmic loop of birth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth. With each cycle comes amnesia. With each cycle that's the matrix karmic flow we've been stuck in. That's what has kept us enslaved mentally. A lot of you understand enslavement physically and you can see it. You can see how it's playing out now. You're really aware of it. I want you to start shifting your awareness to enslavement mentally and spiritually, energetically. And that is the part that we've been playing out. This is what we're waking up from. Like that kind of energy, right, is what we're waking up from and to. By talking about inner child the way that we have, we're actually confirming there's a lot of spiritual work that is really of the matrix and it is intended to trigger your ego. So by talking about each other like by inner child, we actually do a disservice to babies from the time they arrive on the planet because we think that they need to learn from us. We think that children need to learn from us, and of course children come in to teach us because we're the ones who've forgotten. They have not yet forgotten because we have not yet been part of the programming that makes them forget they are the giants. Children come in being still so connected to God that they could channel stuff way better than any other channeler who's probably grown up, right? So when we go, oh, I'm with my inner child and I'm colouring and I'm with my inner child, I'm letting my inner child, we're talking about children in the sense that we see them in this matrix. Whereas the children is very different to childlike. It's very different to wonder and excitement and joy and lack of judgment and the quick to forgive. Children come in and they are unconditional love. Children are unconditional love and they get taught to love conditionally. When people use the term inner child in terms of work or like any of that healing the inner child does not need healing because that child that we're talking about, that is the giant within you that needs reconnecting with for you to remember who you are. That was before the amnesia hit as hard as it has now. So for me, what actually I feel we're talking about is the ego, where it got trapped at different ages due to trauma. So it's trauma trapped at different ages that needs healing. So let me know how that resonates with you. That is what the inner child stuff is for me. That is why it does not resonate, because it's not, we were never children in the sense that we get taught children are. Because of this hijacking matrix program, we have to keep restarting from the start with a body. We don't, so then because babies come in and they're helpless and we have to teach them. We have to teach them how to walk, how to talk, we have to teach them everything. And so we see them as innocent. And so we see them as, in a way, if we're completely honest, we see them as less than, in the sense that we think we're superior. And if we talk about that whole concept of inner child in the way that it's been taught to us, just like how manifesting has been taught to us wrongly, just like how law of attraction has been taught to us, they've all been dumbed down to speak to your ego instead. And in this same way, the whole inner child stuff has never resonated with me, because it's almost like that child is more connected to who they really are, to the fullness of themselves, to the fullness of their joy without needing any external input. That child is more of a master, manifester and creator than we are, right? Because that child comes in fully having surrendered to the process. I will be fed, I will be clothed, I will be cleaned, I will be sheltered, I will be housed. Fully surrendered to the process. And then we forget that, 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 and then we forget that. And then the Matrix teaches us, you need me, you need me, you are not enough, you are not enough, you are flawed, you are broken, you da-da-da. All of the stuff that we get taught. And that is a lot of what the teachings of the inner child thing is wrapped in. I don't talk about it often because a lot of people are very consumed with inner child work. It triggers the fuck out of the spiritual community as much as what sometimes law of attraction and manifesting can trigger, as much as God can trigger the religious community, as much as all of it, right? It's very wrapped up in people's identity and people. So I don't talk about it a lot, but that's my take on inner child. Yes, kids are more capable than we give them credit. They are the giants. We are the giants. And they then have that inner thought of that they are not trustworthy. And they are not able to make decisions that are best for them. Exactly. We start teaching them they're incompetent. We love them. We love them with all that we're capable of. But our amnesia stops us from seeing them who they are, which starts to teach them the amnesia, which stops them from seeing themselves who they are. And then we do this where we literally, that we've done this. And then that is this, where we have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten who we are, and now we're waking up to, I'm sorry. Defenselessness, riding past wrongs, and uprooting. There is no inner child because there is no child, there is only masters. There is our inner child like Christed self, and that is that is that innocence. Okay, so does that help you to understand where I come from on that topic? Not shared to get you to, if that doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. As I said, this is not necessarily coming from on high, but it is a concept that has not resonated with me. And rather than teaching us to be fully embodying our Christed self, our kind of our wonder and our joy and our unconditional love self, we get taught to heal our inner child. It's intended to keep you swirling in a process that will never be complete. And it is actually doing you a disservice by telling you that you are less than. It reinforces to you that you are not the giant. That I can't be trusted to make decisions for myself. Absolutely. And we need to teach children that they can't be trusted to make decisions for themselves, because otherwise how will they become good adults that help feed the matrix? Yes, thank you so much for talking about this topic. So, I mean, you know, the this whole thing that you're currently seeing, well, actually, you're not seeing it anymore because we've moved on to the next thing. But the narrative that was the narrative last week, that always was about the kids. That always was about the kids, because when you have the kids, you have everything. When you have the kids, you have everything, because the kids, you're bringing up that next generation, and they will police very heavily. Every regime, if you have a look at it, has always gotten the kids very heavily, because they want to brainwash the kids, they want to control the kids, because the kids will then control the parents. The kids become their little soldiers inside each home. So that was always for the kids. It's just that if they would have gone to the kids too quickly, people would have woken up and would have said no. So they had to go to the kids slowly. And now, because it's kind of like, looks like, well, it's the final frontier, it's the last group that we haven't, so we better kind of just, come on, everybody, this is like the last hurdle, and then we're done and we're dusted and all will be well. And people will go, oh, come on, you better go and get it done, because really, we've all been done. So yeah. Okay, we did a YouTube live. Yay for us. Some really good stuff in here today. I feel like this literally just came in this morning. I've been doing it that way now for a while, where I don't plan ahead. I wake up in the morning, stuff like that swirls throughout the week, and then I just wake up in the morning and I go, okay, what? I just let it arrive. What? And this morning it was everything that I talked about. It feels like I talked about such a long time ago, literally an hour feels like a long time ago. I couldn't even really tell you exactly what the timelines and the choosing. Broke my heart seeing all the little kids wearing to school, so sad. Yeah. So, and for me, when people say, unmask our children and all that sort of thing, I think no one's actually masking your children but you. No one is masking anybody's child in Australia besides the parent. All right, beautiful folks. 10 in the house. That's pretty good for the first one. So next Monday, is next Monday the 7th? I think it is. Next Monday, I am not home in the morning. So let's do this next Monday, but let's do it at 4 o'clock. I hope that works for people. Let's do it at 4 o'clock. We're still going to set the tone, and I'm going to start asking you, what tone are you setting? So I want you to start getting conscious about, what tone am I setting? What tone am I setting? If you haven't watched my interview with Ben Mitchell, go and watch it. It is on both Instagram and here. He said something about, when he writes songs, he thinks about do I want to sing this? If this was to become a hit, do I want to sing it for a really long time? Do I want to be standing up on a stage singing this song again and again and again? And sharing that really sparked this sort of insight in me, that's a great way for us also to think about our lives, what we do, what we say. Do I really want to lend my energy to this? We can think that about everything we say, everything we do, about our days. And in the same sense, so let's start becoming really conscious about, how am I setting the tone? How am I setting the tone? What tone am I setting? So start to become conscious on a Monday. It's a good time just to check in and go, what tone am I setting for the week? What do I intend to set? But in your day, think, what am I setting? Okay, so Rora, that'll be 2. Do you know what? Maybe let's do it. Let's do an evening one. Is that better for people? What about if we did 7:30? What about if we did 7:30 p.m. and that might help people help people come in more. I'm going to go back to Monday morning, I think. I don't think I'm going to do that, but maybe we will. Let's do 7 p.m. next Monday. Let's see how it feels. And then let's go from there. 7:30. Sorry, 7:30. Let's do 7:30. I feel like 7's too close to dinner times. 7:30 next Monday. Okay. Thank you all for showing up. It's lovely to have you here. Next time I'm going to do it on my computer, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a little bit more like I'm actually looking at you and not this whole sideways thing. I'm not sure. I have to figure it out. It's my first one, you know. It's about the content, not really where I'm looking. Okay, folks. Thanks to everyone who joined, and have a good day. Be conscious of the tone that you're setting. And also remember, it's not about letting other people highlight to us timelines. It's about choosing the timeline ourselves. And when people say something's a done deal, nothing's a done deal. All right, beautiful folks, take care. Thanks, Haruka. Okay, I'm assuming that when I click on this cross that it will give me the option to save. So let's see how we go. All right.